Hey guys, Rob Murphy from Holistic Healing Choices here. Now moving on with our next NLP presupposition. People create their own experience. So what happens around us does not constitute our experience. What does is what goes on in our heads. So say we're sitting out on the porch, veranda, wherever, daydreaming. What then is our experience? Is it what goes on in our surrounding area, or what we dream about? So what's happening out here that's not having our attention? Or is it what's going on in here that has our full attention? It may not appear obvious, but in this case especially, our experience is what we think, or in this case what we dream about. So when we're daydreaming, we're using our senses in our most normal way. So think about that. Think about what you're seeing, what you're hearing. You might even be able to smell something in that. We create those inner pictures, sounds and feelings, and depending on the dream, the taste and the smell of what's happening around us as well. We become unaware of what goes on immediately around us, although we're fully awake and all of our sensory organs are functioning as usual. It's these inner senses of ours that have taken control. And for the moment, our inner experience is all that we dream about. We usually think about what we want to think about, and then this creates our experience, which unavoidably is a subject representation of our reality. So this is due largely to our perception of the outside world, being influenced by our beliefs, presuppositions, and values acquired through the life that we live. Now this, if you've watched the previous NLP presuppositions, will go hand in hand with that. We all have our own little filters. We are free to choose how we want to feel or what state we want to be in. It is how we interpret external events that make us have happy, sad, or bad experience. If we view a film show as awfully boring, another person may regard that same exact TV show as interesting or wildly amusing. To us, it will be remembered as a boring experience, while the other person, it's a different experience entirely. The question inevitably arises as to how individuals watching that same show have opposite feelings. Think about that. Think about just even an argument with friends, family, anybody about a piece of entertainment. One that you found so incredibly boring. Or maybe on the other hand, you absolutely love this bit of entertainment, but someone else hates it with a passion, cannot stand it, will not be able to stand watching a single second of whatever the hell it is. Take, for instance, the Marvel movies. I love them. My fiance, on the other hand, couldn't really care about them at all. Or think about drama shows like Breaking Bad, heralded by many as one of the singular most important, greatest, perfect TV shows in the world. While other people can just see it as a long, boring, sometimes good moments show. Just a show. You all have these experiences based on what you find interesting. So one, what grabs your attention, obviously, and your beliefs, your values. Some people see those sort of things as, wow, all those characters are rotten. They have something wrong with them. They're all terrible people. While some others would be like, yes, a vigilante. Stick it to the man. Help your family along in that situation. So one reason for this is our thinking preference as well. So in other words, which of our 5 senses we prefer to use inwardly? So do we rather see pictures? Do we rather think about things? So in the case of Breaking Bad, it's more of a thinking man sort of show. It gets your mind going as well, like how do they get out of the situation, blah, blah, blah. While a visual person would more like the Marvel movies. Flashy stuff happening all over the place. As well as hearing, so maybe musicals are more your thing. But whatever it is, how we use our senses outside does affect our thinking and our experience on the inside. However, we can change our experience by changing how we use our senses on the inside. So we thus have the free choice to create the kind of experience we want, a painful or a pleasant one. And that goes into, as well, most people will have one favoured sense. We have a combination of them, but we are one favoured sensory organ. And that's a way, an experience we can learn too. Are you more of a visual learner? Do you need to get hands-on, get feeling with those things? Are you more of a thinker? Are computers your bag? And programming and all those nerd things? Or are you a singer? Are you hearing everything, learning by hearing? We all have one favoured or what makes us us sort of thing, and they all contain different values and everything else. So for instance, visual people are very visual in themselves. They hold themselves really upright, they dress really well. So obviously I'm not a visual person, and there's not a hair out of place on them because everything is how it looks. While a kinesthetic person, more so myself, is feeling. This shirt feels really good. It might not go with whatever the hell I'm wearing on the bottom, but I don't care because it feels good. I get hands-on. I'm a massage therapist, so I'm getting hands-on. It's probably why my videos don't have the visual flair or the appropriate sound or whatever the hell else, because I'm not an auditory person who would be going on about the sound. Everything has to sound right. Whereas the internal dialogue or auditory digital, the person who's a thinker, gets all the facts, figures, everything right. But that would be a very different approach to a video. That would be all facts, figures and everything delivered in a probably monotone voice. Because the outside doesn't really worry them. Everything's going on in here. So while you're listening to that, you're thinking as well. But that's just a little bit about how people can create their own experience. Their own experience based off of that same shared experience can differ greatly, just depending on your perception of the world. But anyway guys, that's it for this one. What style of thinker do you think you are? Are you visual, kinesthetic, the feeling, auditory, hearing, or internal dialogue, the thinker? Let me know down below. And as always guys, I'm Rob Murphy, and I'll see you in the next video.